Slides are too far. I think you have to take out the laptop, you have to fold so slides can be seen. Robin, the slide, Satya, slides ikkadiki vastaya? Ee screen mein vastaya slides? Okay. Then it's okay. Parla chalu. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That laptop, Robin, can you close the laptop? Yeah. Ready? Yeah. Good evening, everyone. So we welcome you all to this webinar from the Department of Center for Obesity and Metabolic Sciences. Myself, Dr. Rakesh. I am the director of this Center for Obesity and Metabolic Sciences. So coming to the discussion in specific, so we thought let's do something for the people of the country and by creating awareness about how not to gain the weight or weight management rather in this lockdown period. So as we all know, in the contemporary social network humor, what's going on, many of the urban people or semi-urban people are very much worried about their weight gain because of the sedentary life or kind of less activity with more approach to good delicious food in the house. But rather, if you ask me, the logic behind this is you are not really exposed to good delicious food because all your restaurants are closed, your coffee shops are closed, and you have limited access to unhealthy food rather because you cook more of healthy food. And of course, you have a spouse who is good in cooking, who is extraordinary in cooking, or you have a lot of munching stuff in your house being stored, because I hear some people before the lockdown started, the whole shelves in their kitchen cabinets were filled with this junk food. So if that's the case, then they'll be having a munching spree. So I just want to start saying this. Can I have the first slide, please? So this is like what I feel in a long run. It's not for lockdown period, it's forever. So you should aim in such a way that this is the concept what we have to have in life to stay fit. Kitchen as a pharmacy. What you cook in your kitchen or what ingredients you have in your kitchen is very important. And diet as a medicine. So what you eat is what will reflect on your overall well-being. So if you eat junk food or you eat some unhealthy food, naturally that will be a repercussion on your health, and that leads to other abnormalities. And third, but not the least, exercise as a supplement. So if you have all these three as a triangle in your lifestyle, I don't think you need me anytime in life. I mean, me in the sense the doctor community. So this is a very important thing, triangle, what we have to remember for life to stay healthy and to stay fit. So coming to the lockdown period, what we have to see through, or what I propose is eat healthy. That means eat good, healthy food, no junk, no overeating, and eat wisely. So that means you eat food, but again should be a low calorie, preferably a low trans fat component, and low carb. That's important. Wisely, why I say is that you eat food, see, you cannot just be starving, but you eat in a wise manner, so that you'll eat early, you finish your dinner early. You should not go late night dinner and then just munch on before you go to bed, and then sleep as soon as you eat, and eat timely. So make a fix. See, you are sitting in the sofa, lying down in the bedroom, in the living room. So you have all the time in life right now in a lockdown period. But that doesn't mean that you make your life haphazard. Make a fixed interval of time, breakfast, lunch, dinner, or evening snack, or a midday snack, and eat accordingly. It's true that you can just be like that, and whenever you feel like eating, you get up and eat, unless and until, unlike where you are in the office, where you have to go to the office, there is some pressure. If somebody sitting on top of you is pestering you to be there, have a target-oriented work, all those things are not there. You are a dictator of your own time, but that doesn't mean that you can dictate your time in food. So eat timely food, that's very important. So these three things are very important to be followed at this period. Then mind you, the government of India or the Prime Minister Narendra Modi has put you on a social lockdown. It's not exercise lockdown. So you please exercise. There's nobody who will stop you from exercising. You might ask me, okay, because I am staying in a community, my community people told me not to go outside and walk, or rather they're not allowing me to walk outside. So for that, that's the reason why specifically this program has been put. We will show you, even if you are in a single bedroom flat, 2-bedroom flat, 3-bedroom flat, or a palatial bungalow or a villa, what can be done in a limited area or a large area. We have a session on this where you can do your stretches, weightlifting, and all those stuff in a very concise, precise manner, being in the house. So as I tell you again, it's a social lockdown, it's not an exercise lockdown. Then it's all in the mind. See, if you want to do anything, you will do. That's for sure. There's nothing which will stop you, and there's no police or any other fellow who is saying, hey man, don't do exercise. So it's all in the mind. If you have the intention, the willpower to stay healthy, stay fit, then you can do it. Then human species is very, oriented about the result oriented. So you need some subjective proof that you are losing weight or you are maintaining weight. So if you have a weighing scale in your house, fine. If you don't have also, don't try to reach out, because anyway you don't have any online service to deliver it. But if you have, do it. And why I have put this as a slide is, there is a way of measuring the weighing scale. Obviously use the same standard scale, don't change it, and make it like weekly once, probably a Sunday. It's not every day or every hour. There are people who have a habit of stepping onto it every 6 hours and seeing how much I lost. So that's not the way. Every week once, and a fixed time, probably in the morning, empty stomach, and preferably with minimal clothing, or rather it should not, I just say in a lighter vein, with without any clothes, that will give you the exact body weight. So monitor yourself in this period and try to keep a tap on whether you are increasing your weight, or you are consistent, or you are losing weight, if you really want to lose. Then, as we all know what to eat, rather we have a separate session of what to eat, what not to eat, in the limited resources what you have. So as the saying goes, no one size fits for all. So you require some fuel for the body to run. Of course, not like as what you were running when you were in a normal busy life. You need to run, but in a lesser quantity. So this screen, on the screen what you see, this is actually when you eat from the next evening snack after this session, you just roughly calculate. I'm not saying you exactly precisely be on that. So 4 calories is what a carbohydrates gives you if you eat 1 gram of carbohydrate. It's rough, and obviously prefer to have complex sugars rather than simple sugars. Complex meaning the dal, lentils, sweet potato and all. Sugar simple is like what you have it in your tea, coffee and all the sweets what you get. Then if you have fats, if you consume 1 gram of fat, you're putting in 9 calories. And if you have 1 gram of protein, kind of egg or whatever, paneer, the cottage cheese, then you're getting 4 calories. So this is what roughly you have to, I'm not saying you precisely go into and then calculate and weigh and eat, but this is what actually you have to have in the back of the mind. Again, so this is very important at this era. I think people say globalization. So if you ask me, this is globalization. You know what made us to be the to set into globalization? There are only 4 words: fear, F-E-A-R. That is one thing which has made the entire world for this coronavirus pandemic, made us, all of us, to get into globalization. And obviously if somebody at this point says I don't have stress, I don't believe in. Stress is there in every fellow, from Tata, Ambani to the roadside rickshaw puller or a vendor. So it can be a personal stress, it can be professional stress. Professional because if you are a owner of a company, then you are obviously worried about paying the salaries to your employees. And if you are an employee, then your employer is sitting on you, especially the IT folks, where you have been given targets, I believe, and you are working, I believe, more than what you used to work from the office when you're working from the home. So that is the professional stress. Personal stress on a lighter vein, if you ask me personally, from past 15 plus years, other than Sundays, I was never there on a working day indoor in the house. So naturally, when the spouse, you along with your spouse are there, or you with the kids are there, there will be some amount of refrain and kind of friction which happens, which is a part of personal stress, and of course the other person's stress. So stress by and large in any form is there at this juncture for anybody on the earth globally, I feel. So that is one which makes you eat more, and that's one thing which you have to be very cautious. So if you are stressful, don't go and munch and then get whatever you grab, have it in the kitchen cabinet, take it out and then put it inside. Intermittent fasting, again, this is one thing which I think personally is advisable at least at this juncture, but not in people who are diabetic or hypertensive or elderly, but who are fit and otherwise don't have any comorbidities. Our nutritionists will give you an elaborate view of what is intermittent fasting. The advantage of this is in this juncture in a lockdown period is you will be fasting for 8 hours, then you will eat, then again you will be fasting for a couple of hours. One thing is because of the limited resources of food what you have, you can probably eat junk food because you don't have any healthy food available, but at least if you fast for long, the fat content which is there in your body will be consumed and you will have a low calories. And when you are not fasting and eating, at least you can hop on that so-called junk food because you have no other source of eating. Or if you have some favorite food in your fridge or your kitchen which is made, then you can have it. So intermittent fasting by and large may be one of the alternatives at this juncture up to the lockdown. And I'll ask my nutritionist who will give better view on the intermittent fasting. So I stop here, and what I feel is what I've tried to emphasize to you is, with this background, I just want you to take in the next 10 to 15 minutes with 2 experts who are sitting in on the dais. Each one of them is expert in their particular field. I have Dr. Madhulika, who is the chief nutritionist from AIG Hospitals, who's got a vast experience in the field of nutrition, and I have Kalyani, who is a chief physiotherapist, who will tell you about what I told you, the exercise, how you can do in a limited space. Probably the exercise is mandatory, and if you don't have any space, probably if you don't have any mat, you have a big towel, or you can have carpet in your house where you can lie down and do something. So those two will give you a broad idea of what to do from the nutrition perspective and from the exercise perspective. So may I ask Madhulika to take over and then just tell us what can we do from the nutrition point of view with the limited resources what we have. Over to you, Madhulika.
Good evening, one and all. As COVID-19 has impacted communities around the world, people are searching for different ways how they can stay fit and stay healthy during this lockdown period. Basically, many people are nervous because they're gaining weight during this lockdown period. And as we are maintaining this social distancing from the world, food has basically become a priority, or maybe we can say it has become a best companion for all of us. With minimal or no physical activity we are having these days, we are tending to eat whatever is available at home. We are hopping on food, and because of that we are overeating, which is gaining through which we are gaining weight. So what can we do to avoid this weight gain? There are simple steps which we can follow, by which we can avoid gaining weight during this lockdown period. First is, we have to establish a routine every day. So we have to keep ourselves busy, that is whatever kind of activity we like, or some kind of gardening or cooking your favorite food or planning our meals. So we have to keep ourselves busy, and also we have to plan our meals so that we are not eating junk food on every day. And we have to drink plenty of fluids, that is, it can be water or some lime juice or some mint water, or it can be some raw mango juice or something like that, so that we are not deprived of fluids in our body and we won't be dehydrated. And the last thing is, we have to be physically active. Maybe not outdoor activities, but yes, indoor activities. Our physiotherapist will explain you how we can be physically active in indoors also. So basically people are thinking that it's like a punishment. Social lockdown is like a punishment, wherein they are eating lot of food and they are tending to gain weight. But actually we have to consider this as a boon, because we don't have much of office stress, as Dr. Rakesh has explained, and we can cook a healthy food at home. And as there are limited sources of junk food and restaurants and all are closed, we can basically cook healthy food so that we can maintain our weight. And if somebody is actually trying to lose weight, this is the best period to lose weight in this lockdown. So what exactly is healthy eating? Healthy eating is nothing but it is like including foods from the major food groups, like the grains, which includes the cereals and pulses, and the fruits, vegetables, milk and milk products, meat, and oils and fats. So all these major food groups will give us the nutrients called as macro and the micronutrients. The carbohydrates, protein, fat and fiber come under the macronutrients, and the vitamins and minerals are the micronutrients. So basically these micronutrients, the vitamins and minerals, are like key to our body. So if we have to operate our body, which is kind of a lock, then these two key vitamins and minerals are very, very important in our day-to-day life. So what are carbohydrates? We have two different forms of carbohydrates, the complex carbohydrates and the simple carbohydrates. So basically these complex carbohydrates are like the whole grain cereals, whole gram pulses, we have something like whole bread or atta bread, the unrefined rice or unrefined wheat and its products, and millets and all that. So these contain the soluble and insoluble fiber, which has to be included in our day-to-day life. So when we are including these complex carbohydrates, our intestine synthesizes the short chain fatty acids, which keeps our gut healthy, and when our gut is healthy, our immunity system boosts up. So try to avoid this simple carbohydrates such as the soft drinks or the sugary drinks and all that, so that our gut or our immunity is not suppressed. The next comes proteins and fats. So protein is very, very important for us when it comes to building up our immunity, because when our diets are lacking in protein, our immune system becomes suppressed and we tend to get more infectious diseases. So it's always better to take adequate amount of protein, like we get proteins from various sources. Like for vegetarians we have milk products, and some soya and soya products for the protein, even the pulses, lentils and all that. And for the non-vegetarians we have eggs, and we have skinless chicken and fish. So try to include at least 50 to 60 gram for a normal individual, a healthy individual who is weighing around 60 to 70 kg of weight. So try to include at least 4 to 5 servings of this protein. So one serving of carbohydrate and a protein is equal to 30 grams. So which will be equal to a fistful. So try to include at least 4 to 5 servings of carbohydrates and 4 to 5 servings of protein on a daily basis. Coming to the fats, we have something called as healthy fats and unhealthy fats, and these fats are available in both invisible and visible forms. So the invisible fats are those which are present in the food as such, and the visible fats are the ones which are like we add on to our food to increase its palatability. So especially the omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids are like anti-inflammatory, and again they help us in boosting our immunity. So try to prefer more of MUFA and PUFA fats, that are like rice bran oil, omega-3, we have this canola oil, olive oil, avocado oil. So try to include these in on our daily basis, so that we get benefit of these good fats. Not only these, we have invisible fats which are present in the naturally in the foods, such as the fish, we have some flax seeds, we have nuts, and we have milk and milk products. So try to include them on a regular basis. And coming to the vitamins, especially the vitamin A, D, E and vitamin C, these 4 vitamins are basically for immune boosting. It has immune boosting powers. So try to include them on a regular basis. Like we have for vitamin A, we have leafy vegetables, we have yellow and orange colored fruits and vegetables. And for vitamin D, we have fatty fish and some milk and milk products which are fortified with vitamin D these days, and we have even oils which are fortified with vitamin D. So try to include them so that you get enough vitamin D. And for vitamin E, we have these nuts and oil seeds such as gingerly, peanuts and almonds, walnuts, pistachios and all these. So these all contain vitamin E. So try to include them on a regular basis. So when it comes to fatty foods, especially the nuts and the oil seeds, we have to always be very careful about the portion size. So try to include not more than 20 to 30 gram. That will be a fistful of these foods on a regular basis. And coming to vitamin C, we have vitamin C in many Indian foods such as gooseberries, that is amla, and we have it in oranges, sweet lime, our normal lime or lemon. So try to include these on a regular basis. Lemon can be had like in the form of a lemon water, or you can just squeeze in some fresh lime to any of your foods or some salads, fruits, so that because you have to be very careful when you are including vitamin C foods. It should not be exposed to heat, because once it is exposed to heat, the vitamin C gets oxidized and the benefits are lost. And important thing is that when we eat vitamin D foods in our diet, it's always better to expose ourselves to the sunlight, because when we are having this vitamin D which is in inactive form, it will get converted to active form when we are exposing ourselves to sunlight. So try to expose yourself for at least 15 to 20 minutes between 9 AM to 3 PM. Coming to minerals, zinc is again very important mineral when it comes to boosting up our immunity. So we have zinc present in various foods such as eggs, we have leafy vegetables, we have some nuts, we have cereals, whole grain cereals and whole gram pulses. So try to include them on a regular basis, so that with the when the zinc is present in our food, we have good immunity boosting powers. And when our diets are deficit in zinc, we have more tendency on getting the infectious diseases, or some other pathogens may affect our body. So try to include them on a regular basis. So how we can eat to control our cravings and boost our energy? First thing is timely meals, as Dr. Rakesh suggested. Have food on time, like breakfast before 9 in the morning and lunch between 1 to 2 and dinner again by 8 in the evening, because when we are skipping or when we are not eating food on time, what exactly happens is we tend to eat more food in our next meal. So again, skipping breakfast is also not recommended. We have to always eat our breakfast on time. As we are fasting throughout night, the breakfast is a major meal of the day. So try to eat good breakfast, a healthy breakfast, wherein you are including all the 5 food groups which I have shown you in the previous slide. So try to include all of the food groups and have a healthy breakfast. And always cut the junk. You have to always say no to fast foods, no to junk foods, and no to processed foods. This is very important because processed foods tend to contain loads and loads of salt or the sodium and sugar in them. So when we are eating more of these processed foods, our body is like they are filled with this sodium and salt, wherein we are tending to gain more weight. So cut always these processed foods, and always boost your bodies with good amount of proteins, because protein, as I have mentioned, it is very important because when the diets, especially our Indian diets, lack in protein. So when we are our diets are lacking in protein, we have more tendency of depriving our immune system. So try to include good quality protein on a regular basis. And again, sleep is a very important thing. At least 6 to 8 hours of good quality of sleep is very important. And even drinking fluids, that is water, at least 3 to 4 liters per day. So as I have mentioned, like we have to include all the major 5 food groups in our routine diet to stay healthy or to manage our weight. During this lockdown period, how can we actually follow it with the limited sources available? So when it comes to the cereals, millets, pulses and legumes, that is the first 2 food groups. Now we have this rice which is available, wheat and wheat products, to some extent oats are available, and all the dals, that is pulses and lentils, this rajma, chole and all that are available. So these are the proteins which you can include. At least 4 to 5 servings of cereals and 4 to 5 servings of protein to be there. Protein may be the pulses and legumes 2 to 3 servings, and the other milk products or eggs and meats can be other 2 to 3 servings. So try to include them, and always remember, when we are consuming a serving of cereal, that is either a rice or roti, whatever. Suppose if we are taking a cup of rice, we have to always accompany it with 2 cups of vegetables, because as rice is a refined product, it doesn't have fiber. We have to always substitute it with a good amount of fiber. That is what we have to include, 2 cups of vegetables every day. Milk products and meat. So try to include milk and milk products, but always remember it should be low fat milk and milk products. You can prepare curd from the milk which is available, and at least 2 cups of curd a day and at least a glass of milk every day. And other milk products such as cottage cheese or paneer and cheese, these all can be included depending upon the availability of the foods. As eggs are available freely, we can include 1 full egg in the boiled form every day, including the yolk part, because the yolk part contains even zinc, which is a major micronutrient which is important for boosting our immunity. So even at least weekly once or twice, try to include some chicken or fish if it is available. Otherwise, chicken is readily available, so you can include them. Fruits, the available fruits especially during this summer are like, we have melons, we have mangoes coming up, grapes, oranges and papaya. These all fruits which are mentioned there contain vitamin A, vitamin C, and also this major vitamins. So these vitamins will help us to boost up our immunity. At least 4 to 5 servings, that is 1 serving of fruit is equal to 100 gram of fruit. So try to include at least 4 to 5 servings of these fruits on a regular basis. And coming to vegetables, these are the vegetables which are available freely. such as gourd varieties, the tomatoes, ladyfinger, brinjal, capsicum, cucumber, lemon and all. So these contain even the leafy vegetables, especially the spinach, will have good amount of these micronutrients. So try to include them.
Okay. Thank you, Madhulika. I think that's very nicely presented and give a overall view. So if you see if you can recall Madhulika's talk, most of us, I think I think there's a largest amount of sales in the last decade of vitamin C and zinc
Yes.
in the form of tablets.
Yes, yes.
So if you see the presentation here, vitamin C and zinc is available in natural foods.
Yes.
So if you can take that, you can fill your stomach,
Yes.
which is also good, healthy food and also immunity booster.
Yes.
So what else you want? You please follow the foods which have the highest vitamin C and zinc, and you don't have to take it in the tablet form. So that's what we see. Anyway, we'll come back to that. So in the meantime, if the audience have any questions, they can post it on, because after this session, we will take up those questions and then answer personally to you about whatever queries you have. So moving on to the next one, which is the triangle, what I told you, the third one, that is exercise. And with the limited space, limited constraints, and people who cannot go out, I know many of us are walkers in the morning, and people who run. In fact, I myself am a marathon runner, and I know how disgusting and frustrating it is when you sit like this and don't go for a run or a walk, or a tennis player for a tennis. So on this note, we have, as I told you, the expert in this field, our chief physiotherapist Kalyani. And Kalyani, we just want a brief talk on what can be done in a limited space of, say, if you are living in a 1000 SFT apartment, or when you want to do something in a bedroom or in the living room or in the balcony, or if you have a big villa in the backyard. So over to you, Kalyani. So please tell us what can be done.
Hello. As sir said, in a limited space, how we are going to do the exercises and all. As we all know that we are in the middle of a war where we don't know where the cure is unknown and the enemy is invisible. The only thing where we have the defense mechanism is to become strong and improve our immunity to fight against the disease and with the disease. Due to this lockdown and inactivity has made many negative impacts on us, making us depressed, stress, anxiety, become lazy. So today I am going to teach you a few simple and easy technique of exercises which helps us to make us strong, feel healthy, make our lifestyle active, boost our immunity. While sitting down, we can this exercises can be done from the middle age, lower middle age, or to the elderly people also. With simple availability of equipment available at home. Say about when we are sitting on the chair.
Yeah.
While sitting, as we see the pictures here, while sitting, we can just move your legs up and down, lift your legs up and down. This every day, at least 40 to 45 minutes of exercise is recommended, 5 days in a week. Starting from the neck, you can start from the neck, like moving your neck up and down, doing sideways rotations.
Yeah.
Carry on.
No, I think if they can see what you're doing, that will be more informative.
Yeah, while sitting, you can just, every part of the body has to be exercised. Say about the neck, when you have to move it up and down, rotate sideways. Every day, 40 minutes of your exercises, weekly, 5 days in a week should be sufficient for any individual. Depending upon their other conditions like heart diseases or any other, if they are diabetics, if they are hypertensive, all these things can be done. So, starting with the neck, these are the exercises, then moving your shoulders up and down, upper trunk rotations, then lifting your legs up and down, bring the knee to the chest. These every day can repeat 10 times, 10 repetitions, and thrice in a day, twice in a day and all. As we see this, These are some of the exercises in where you can be on the ground. You can, if you don't find a mat, as I said, you can just put a blanket or something. You can sit down and do these exercises. These we call it as cat and camel, where you lift your upper back up, then lower down. That will help in strengthening your back muscles. If you have a chair or something to support yourself, just these are simple stretchings where you can just make your thigh muscles active. Raising your legs up and down, upper back stretch, like putting your hands back and stretching, or just whenever you are sitting, especially with the IT people who sit continuously in front of the system, they forget about their posture completely. So for those, like every half an hour, they can just take a 2 minutes walk around, and you can just stretch yourself, chest openers, like in front of the doors, like you can just push yourself.
Yeah, I think that's very important. As you said, don't sit in one position.
One positions for long time.
Yeah, not more than half an hour or 1 hour. Yeah, just get up, walk.
Take a walk around.
Yeah,
Stretch yourself.
yeah, that's the easiest way of doing.
Just for the you can say just have water. Keep it far away from you.
Exactly.
So that every now and then you just go
Correct,
have water and come back, or your junk, whatever you want, you can keep it in the kitchen where you can walk all the way, get that, and then again come back to work. Those simple postures you should maintain. So in lying down, these are some of the postures for your upper back, your neck. Squats are very important. You can take the support of a wall, if you are not that fit enough, just take the support of the wall and just slide down the wall, just as if you are taking the squat position. This is side knee lifts. These can be done with the support of some chair or table which is fixed, and you can do these. Superman position, which kids like the most. This is bridging exercise for your back. These are chair dips. These are very good exercise for anybody who is sitting in front of the system. In between, they can take these laps. This is chest opener, child's pose. Meditation is one of the best exercise for your controlling your breathing activity, breathing exercise, where it boosts your oxygen levels. When you're just standing, you can just jump. If you are good enough to have a good physical activity, you can just take few jumps, kind of kicks and all that.
Okay. So I think
Breathing should be continuous. When you do some exercise, you breathe in, breathe out. Never hold the breath. That is the most important thing. And you can take up some like dancing. So many YouTube videos are coming up where children and younger age group enjoy doing Zumba dance and all those things.
Yeah.
That is one kind of an exercise people can go for.
Yeah. So as I said, I think probably pranayama must be one of the major ones, because this is a respiratory borne illness. And
yes,
when you have the good respiratory tract thing, then that will kind of avoid you, apart from the immune boosters from the food point of view.
All the time, diet and exercise should go hand in hand
Exactly.
for any individual.
Yeah. But word of caution is, one should know the limitations. Because otherwise they'll end up in some fractures and
fractures.
Even otherwise those postures,
Yes.
they should know the limitations and do. It's not everybody can do everything. And it's very difficult to find an orthopedician also if something happens. So you have to be very cautious on that angle. And I think as you've seen, Kalyani, thank you. You have given a very nice elaborative way of what to do. So I think if you listen to what she told, 100 to 200 SFT is enough. So please, no excuse on not exercising. It is doable even in a lockdown or lock up, whatever it is, but you have to do it. And nutrition and physiotherapy should go hand in hand. So what we'll take up the questions from audience, and before that I just want to wrap up and give a take home message to you. So what now, after the nutritionist and physiotherapist giving us a elaborate view of what to do, what not to do. So at the end of this lockdown 2, we don't know whether lockdown 3 is there or not. but hopefully it won't be there. But at the end of lockdown 2, when everything goes smooth as it is, so it's just a joke which I want to share, that Honorable Prime Minister will come down in the morning at 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. or in the evening at 8 p.m. and say, and we don't want him to say, Mere pyare hathiyon, that is, my dear elephants. So we should not put on weight and then, see, it's easy to gain weight, but it will take years to lose it. So you have to be cautious and introspect yourself, and then try to control yourself. As I told you, it's all in your mind. If you can control, if you can want to control, you can control. So just a take-home message, as they have elucidated, indoor workouts. So minimum room, minimum space also is there. You can do, as she has elegantly demonstrated. Try virtual classes. All your physiotherapists, gym trainers are all sitting idle. Many of them are doing virtual classes. So you can log on, and then they will be supporting you if you are really a gymmer and then used to get a trainer training you. And find out course that you may sweat, which for example includes, if you don't have dumbbells in your house, take 2 water bottles, 1 liter, 2 liter, try to lift them, and then think creative in that limited sources. So what you can do is you can sweep the floor, mop it, clean windows, clean dishes. So it's like, I'll say you are killing 3 birds in one shot. One, you are of course doing good housekeeping work. Second, you are sweating yourself by burning calories. Third, you are satisfying your spouse, and you can overcome the little frictions what you have with your spouse. So do this, think creative in this time. And healthy diet, then portion control and cutting out junk. Junk food, if you have, I don't say you throw, because however rich you are, you cannot afford to do that at this juncture. But at least don't buy whenever you go for a shopping tomorrow morning the junk food. Stay away from that. Don't see or don't let the junk food come into your house, and eat healthy food as what we told. So I think with this, this is what the take home message is. And I again told you the triangle, keep in your mind, kitchen as a pharmacy, diet as exercise, and diet as a medicine, and exercise as a supplement. So if you have this, then you will stay fit. And stay home, stay safe is what the government and the frontline warriors are saying. We add on a stay fit. So stay home, stay safe, and stay fit. So with this, we will conclude our talks and what we wanted to give as a message. And interestingly, we have got a lot of questions from the audience. So I'll take one by one. I think probably you too have to answer. So there's one who has asked as a question, is really drinking water in a large quantity helps to lose weight? And vis-a-vis, will it affect the kidneys? Which is a very valid point. It's not like you sit and then drink 4-5 liters. So Madhulika.
Always better to have good amount of water, that is 3 to 4 liters, or max to max 5 liters per day during the summers.
Yeah.
But it's not advisable to drink a large amount of water at a time. Maybe max to max 1 liter, say early in the morning once you wake up. But if we are consuming lots of water, more than 5 liters, up to 7 or 8 liters, then definitely it is going to affect our kidneys.
Yeah, and word of caution is more for people who are diabetic and like kidney disease, elderly age.
Yes.
They should not.
So it's always better to take it in limited amounts, maybe 1 or 2 glasses at a time, and maybe you can just fill around say 3 bottles or 4 bottles of water and keep drinking it throughout the day. Say 1 hour, a glass of water. That can be done.
And I expected many questions from this, and naturally they came. Intermittent fasting.
Okay.
So there's any very interesting one from, I think he's a doctor, Dr. Azam. I can tell the name also. So if you do intermittent fasting, does it affect the gut microbiome? I'm very impressed the way this gentleman asked the question, which is really a debatable topic.
Yes.
So anything from your side you want to tell?
So intermittent fasting is very good thing actually, because when we are fasting during those 16 hours or 14 hours, whatever we are fasting, so what happens is our body will repair itself. So in that repairing process, we have our gut, which is again like renewed overnight. So with that thing, intermittent fasting, when our gut is renewed, of course our gut microbiome also is
Sure, yeah.
it will show good
it will
benefits.
restore the
Yes.
integrity of intestinal
Yes,
epithelium.
yes.
That's rightly said. Yeah. So that's intermittent fasting, I think,
It's
is
advisable.
definitely advisable.
Yes.
If not in the long run,
Maybe
at
if not
least.
for 16 hours, in the beginning they can start with just 12 hours
Correct,
and then
correct.
increase it to 14 hours and then to 16 hours.
Word of caution again is with diabetes.
Yes, yes.
Because they will be on the diabetic pills and they
Right.
should not do this like
Right,
this. But
right.
no, non-diabetic healthy people
Non-diabetic
definitely
can do
yes.
it, yes.
And another question is what type of oils are good? Actually, you told. I think probably you
Yes.
can
So
re-emphasize
it's
that.
always better to use, I mean, don't stick to one particular oil. You have to change the source of oils. Changing the source is very important. So maybe if like we are purchasing 3 packets or 4 packets of oil in a month, it should be like a packet of rice bran oil, a packet of soybean oil, a packet of refined sunflower oil.
No, I think Mallika, with the limited resources,
Yes.
probably you have to
But,
tell only one oil.
now at this point of time, it's better to use rice bran oil because it's the best oil available.
Right.
If it is not available, then of course refined sunflower oil.
Sure.
And the quantity is very important. Per person per month, half kg of oil, not more than that.
Sure. Hope it won't go beyond 1 month,
Yes.
the lockdown. Let's
Yes.
see. So, this is another interesting question. Actually, he is one of our old patients, I believe. Patient of pancreatitis.
Yeah.
So, during this lockdown, what's my diet plan? Very pertinent, practical question.
Yes.
Because you
Same
keep
thing.
giving diet chart for them.
Yes.
And poor people, they are now stuck.
Yes.
Chronic pancreatitis patients.
So it's a good thing for them that is no junk available. So
Yeah.
anyway, in pancreatitis they have to avoid
that's
the
good, yeah.
fatty foods and all that. So timely meals is very important for them. At least every 3 to 4 hours they need to eat something in their diet. And lots of fruits and vegetables as they are rich in antioxidants and immune boosters. So in between the meals, maybe not along with the food, but in between the foods they can include the fruits.
Sure.
Yeah.
So one more interesting question. Actually, people are telling in the media that in this pandemic you stay healthy, eat more. Right. So now we are telling like eat more, but the question asked was to boost the immunity, you should eat more.
Yes.
So that's right. You should eat more, but again, eat a healthy food.
Yes.
It's not that eat more in the sense you wag on.
Yeah.
Of course, you're not getting pizza, burger, and all now. But whatever you have, this high fatty foods, high carb foods.
Eating more doesn't mean the quantity of the food. The
Exactly.
quality of the
Quality
food
of
should be
is very
good. That is
important.
very, very important.
It's a healthy, balanced diet,
Yes.
as it was.
Yes.
linked.
So as quality means we are getting some good fruits and vegetables now in the summer. So
Sure.
maybe they can hop on that.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think one question to Kalyani. So, do you have advise any time for exercise, or it's like any time they can do because they are always anyway free, but any specific time is advised, or any time of the day they can do?
Yeah, usually early in the morning is always the best,
Right.
as they have good sleep
Okay.
and their stomach is empty.
Sure.
So we usually
So preferably in the
suggest
morning.
them before meal.
And how much time you advise? 30 minutes,
As I
45
said,
minutes?
that is like
1 hour,
40 to 45 minutes, 5 days in a week.
5 days in a week. Okay. So I think now, why not 7 days?
Usually we have a plan of strengthening, resisted, all these kinds we plan up. But 5 days is sufficient for any individual. Now they are at home, I think they can go for 7 days also.
Exactly. So if you say 5 days, then people who are
The other 2
ready to
days.
start tomorrow morning, they'll feel happy.
Because
Okay,
everybody needs 1 day holiday, so usually we say
That's
that.
right. And so this is again amongst workout and diet, which would help more for a speedy weight loss. So this person is very ambitious. I think you have to balance both.
Balance
It's always
both.
hand in hand.
always-
Both
Yeah,
should
it's
go
like a
hand
triangle
in
what
hand.
we
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
Both should go.
So that's one thing. And Madhulika, this is for you. I don't even understand. What about apple cider vinegar in weight loss? Is it recommended?
Actually, people say it's good, but there is no research on that. So
Sure. And I think most of us know April 23rd, I think the holy month is starting. So what's your advice on fasting in Ramadan?
yeah, they can follow the same intermittent fasting. Say instead of eating in the daytime, they can eat from evening to morning.
But I think what food they eat is very important.
Yes.
Because they naturally eat a high calorie food,
Yes.
but that's very important for them to be addressed not to eat that food.
Yes.
I think whatever she has told in the talk, the same foods they have to eat even in the fasting.
Yes, so they have to cut down on the fried and fatty foods.
Exactly.
And the red meat especially,
Yeah.
they
And
include
peop-
red meat
and
in
for
their
Hyderabad
diets.
people, hopefully there is no halim.
Yeah.
So that at least will cut
Few
down a
people
major.
make at home, but
Correct.
better to avoid the red meat and organ meats
Correct.
and include good amount of white meat.
Yeah. So there's one gentleman by name Srinivas who has given a very interesting question. Can fasting affects a person's chances of contracting coronavirus? No.
No, not exactly. When we are including a good balanced diet, including immune boosting foods on a day-to-day basis,
Yeah.
then maybe not.
Yeah. So this is again a very valid question. She told, but again for your knowledge, we want her to tell again. What are the zinc-rich foods?
We have zinc in the leafy vegetables, we have it in eggs, we have it in nuts and oil seeds, and we have it in whole grain cereals and whole gram pulses. So when our food is having all the major 5 food groups, then we get all the major nutrients and the macro and the micronutrients in our diet, and so that our diet is balanced and we don't catch up any infections as such.
So there is a question from Bangladesh. He actually our gastro colleague, Dr. Mohsin. So he's asking, is keto diet preferable? I mean, he just asked a general question of keto diet in reduction of weight, but that's not relevant at this juncture. But at this juncture, in lockdown, keto diet, if at all they can do.
It can be possible because
most of it's not possible.
It's not advisable on a long run because it will have effect on various organs of our body.
Yeah,
so it's better to avoid.
Probably a supermarket owner can be affording to do a keto diet because he'll be having access for all types of foods.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's not food.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's not a question pertinent to this topic or discussion or need of the hour, Mohsin, but again we can discuss it later. And one more thing is what is best to eat before a workout with these limited resources?
Maybe a boiled egg before the workout, or maybe some protein.
Nuts, you say?
Yeah, nuts.
Almonds or something?
Yeah, almonds or some walnuts, say around 6 to 8 pieces of almonds and around say 4 halves of walnuts, it's sufficient.
Sure. So I think most of the questions, at least.
Can I ask you a simple question?
Yeah.
Actually, as you mentioned, lime should not be put in warm drink.
because
but nowadays they say like warm water with honey and lime. They say.
Actually, it's not advisable because little lukewarm water is fine, but it should not be to such an extent that it's
Does it
like
have
heated
really
up.
have an effect?
Yes.
But I think now with the vitamin C as being one of the immunoboosters,
We can
you can
just have
advise
it in
now.
plain water. The lime with plain water can be had.
Because we thought of talking only about what we can do in lockdown period. So in that way, I think lime and all are available freely.
Yes.
You can put it in water and then just gulp it. Because some people, they started having this tulsi water and all those stuff.
Yeah, ginger,
milk
and,
with
turmeric.
curcumin and all.
Yes.
I think, do you advise? I mean,
Yes,
is it advisable?
can be had.
Okay. So it's come from the expert's point of view, so you can take. So I think we try to address most of your queries and kind of give you a broad overview of this. So I think we probably will try to come up again with some more sessions, of course with the nutritionist and being there, the physiotherapist being there, but this time we'll try to also put in a panel of other people like endocrinologists, like the diabetologists, because again diabetics are the diabetes, obesity, hypertension, cardiovascular disease. These are the non-communicable diseases which are unfortunately ignored at this hour. Not ignored I say, but they have been given less attention because they don't have access. In fact, other day I have one of my known to who was trying to bring her elderly mother-in-law to the hospital and she died halfway through because of massive heart attack. I think hopefully all these things will come to a logical conclusion. We pray to God to have a faster recovery and a logical solution to this. So at least to address these non-communicable diseases, this is the easiest way of controlling your diet and then doing some physical activity which will keep you healthy. So I'll conclude again saying stay home, stay fit and stay healthy. So with this I will conclude the session, and we thank you all for gluing on to your respective gadgets and then listening to us patiently. Thank you once again.